To the Bible Brain Teaser channel. Before start, could you please subscribe our channel to give us much more motivation? Today, we'll embark on a captivating exploration into the captivating life of Queen Esther and Solomon. Each question you have 7 seconds to think, and designed not only to deepen your understanding of this biblical heroine, but also to provide an enjoyable and insightful learning experience. Let's get started. Question 1. Who raised Esther after she became an orphan? A. King Xerxes. B. Her uncle Morai. C. Her aunt Hagar. D. The royal eunuchs. 7 seconds to think about the answer. Letter B. Her uncle Morai. Esther 2-7. Morai had taken her as his own daughter when her father and mother died after Esther became an orphan. Question 2. What was Solomon famous for building? A. A palace. B. A fortress. C. The temple in Jerusalem. D. A statue. Time for thinking. Letter C. The temple in Jerusalem. 1 Kings 6-1. And it came to pass, in the 480th year, after the children of Israel were come out of the land of Egypt, in the 4th year of Solomon's reign over Israel, that he began to build the house of the Lord. Question 3. What did God offer Solomon in a dream? A. Wealth. B. Long life. C. Whatever he asked for. D. Victory over enemies. Time for thinking. Letter C. 1 Kings 3-5. In Gibeon, the Lord appeared to Solomon in a dream by night, and God said, "Ask what I shall give thee." Question 4. What did Solomon ask from Hiram, king of Tyre, for building the temple? A. Gold. B. Silver. C. Cedarwood. D. Marble. Time for thinking. Letter C. Cedarwood. 1 Kings 5-6. Now therefore, command thou, that they hew me cedar trees out of Lebanon, and my servants shall be with thy servants, and unto thee will I give hire for thy servants, according to all that thou shalt appoint. For thou knowest that there is not among us any that can skill to hew timberly. Question 5. What was the name of Solomon's mother? A. Abigail. B. Biba. C. Sarah. D. Leah. Time for thinking. Letter B. Biba. 1 Kings 1:16. And Bathsheba bowed and did obeisance unto the king. And the king said, What wouldest thou? Question 6. How many wives did Solomon have? A. 300. B. 700. C. 1,000. D. 500. Can you guess the correct answer? Letter B. 700. 1 Kings 11-3. And he had 700 wives, princesses, and 300 concubines, and his wives turned away his heart. Question 7. After the death of Haman, what did the king give Esther? A. The house of Haman. B. A new palace. C. The royal treasury. D. A position in the royal court. Can you guess the right answer? Letter A. The house of Haman. Esther 8-1. That same day King Xerxes gave Queen Esther the estate of Haman, the enemy of the Jews. Question 8. What did Esther do during the second banquet with the king and Haman? A. Requested a royal estate. B. Requested wealth and power. C. Pleaded for the Jews and requested to kill Haman. D. Pleaded for the Jews and revealed Haman's evil plot. Time for thinking. pleaded for the Jews and revealed Haman's evil plot. Esther 7:1-6. Then Queen Esther answered, "If I have found favor with you, your majesty, and if it pleases you, grant me my life. This is my petition, and spare my people. This is my request." Question 9. What did Mordecai, Esther's uncle, do when he heard about Haman's plan to kill the Jews? A. Cursed Haman in the street. B. Went to plead with the king. C. Burned down Haman's house. D. Put on sackcloth and ashes. Time for thinking. Letter D. Put on sackcloth and ashes. Esther 4:1. When Mordecai learned of all that had been done, he tore his clothes, put on sackcloth and ashes, and went out into the city, wailing loudly and bitterly. Question 10. Why didn't Esther tell the king or anyone else that she was Jewish? A. She wanted to surprise the king later. B. Mordecai told her not to. C. She was only half Jewish, so why bring it up? D. None of the above. Time for thinking. Letter B. Mordecai told her not to. Esther 20. But Esther had kept secret her family background and nationality, just as Mordecai had told her to do, for she continued to follow Mordecai's instructions, as she had done when he was bringing her up. Question 11. According to Esther's confirmation letter, what did her descendants do in Purim? A. Fasting and lamenting. B. Planting trees and flowers. C. Organizing parades and processions. D. Engaging in sports and competitions. Let's guess the right answer. Letter A. Fasting and lamenting. Esther 9:29-31. As Mordecai the Jew and Queen Esther had decreed for them, and as they had established for themselves and their descendants, in regard to their times of fasting and lamentation. Question 12. What did Solomon say was the whole duty of man? A. To honor the king. B. To obey the law. C. To fear God and keep his commandments. D. To be fruitful and multiply. Time for thinking. Letter C. To fear God and keep his commandments. Ecclesiastes 12:13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. Question 13. How did Esther initially respond to Mordecai's request for help? A. Refused. B. Hesitated. C. Agreed immediately. D. Sought advice from the king. Time for thinking. Letter B. Hesitated. Esther 4:9-11. Initially, Esther hesitated to intervene in Mordecai's plea for help regarding Haman's plot against the Jews. Question 14. What did Solomon do to honor his father David? A. Built a temple. B. Wrote psalms. C. Established a feast. D. Named a city after him. Time for thinking. Letter A. Built a temple. 2 Chronicles 3:1. Then Solomon began to build the house of the Lord at Jerusalem in Mount Moriah, where the Lord appeared unto David his father, in the place that David had prepared in the threshing floor of Ornan the Jebusite. Question 15. What did Esther ask the Jewish people to do in preparation for her risky meeting with the king? A. Fasting. B. Building fortifications. C. Rebellion against Haman. D. Seeking refuge in neighboring lands. Time for thinking. Letter A. Fasting. Esther 4:15-16. Then Esther sent this reply to Mordecai. Go, gather together all the Jews who are in Susa, and fast for me. Do not eat or drink for 3 days. night or day. I and my attendants will fast as you do. When this is done, I will go to the king, even though it is against the law. And if I... Question 16. What was the source of Solomon's great wealth? A. Conquests. B. Trade, gifts, and tributes. C. Mining. D. Inheritance. Letter B. Trade, gifts, and tributes. 1 Kings 10:22. For the king had at sea a navy of Tarshish, with the navy of Hiram. Once in 3 years came the navy of Tarshish, bringing gold and silver, ivory, and apes and peacocks. Question 17. What was the name of the chief architect for Solomon's temple? A. Basil. B. Hiram. C. Isaac. D. Uri. Letter B. Hiram. 1 Kings 7:13. And King Solomon sent and fetched Hiram out of Tyre. Question 18. Which queen visited Solomon to test his wisdom? A. Sheba. B. Esther. C. Jezebel. D. Athaliah. Letter A. Sheba. 1 Kings 10:1. And when the queen of Sheba heard of the fame of Solomon concerning the name of the Lord, she came to prove him with hard questions. Question 19. According to the book of Esther, what did Morai, Esther's uncle, tell Hathach to report to Esther? A. The edict for Jews' annihilation. B. Request Esther to meet the king to plead for the Jews. C. The money Haman promised to give the royal treasury to kill the Jews. D. All of the above. Letter D. All of the above. Esther 4:7-8. Morai told him everything that had happened to him, including the exact amount of money Haman had promised to pay into the royal treasury for the destruction of the Jews. He also gave him a copy of the text of the edict for their annihilation, which had been published in Susa to show. Question 20. According to Solomon, what is the profit of a man in all his labor? A. Wisdom. B. Wealth. C. Pleasure. D. Knowledge. Letter A. Wisdom. Ecclesiastes 2:11. Then I looked on all the works that my hands had wrought, and on the labor that I had labored to do, and behold, all was vanity and vexation of spirit, and there was no profit under the sun. Question 21. After the death of Haman, what did the king give Esther? A. The house of Haman. B. A new palace. C. The royal treasury. D. A position in the royal court. Letter A. The house of Haman. Esther 8:1. That same day King Xerxes gave Queen Esther the estate of Haman, the enemy of the Jews. Question 22. How many banquets did Esther organize for the king and Haman? A. 1. B. 2. C. 3. D. 4. Letter B. 2. Esther 5. For 8. Esther organized 2 banquets for King Xerxes and Haman as part of her strategic plan to address the threat against her people. Question 23. What was the name of the feast that the Jews celebrated on the 14th and 15th day of Adar? A. Purim. B. Passover. C. Hanukkah. D. Yom Kippur. Letter A. Purim. Esther 9, 2026. Therefore these days were called Purim, from the word pur. Question 24. According to Esther's confirmation letter, what did her descendants do in Purim? A. Fasting and lamenting. B. Planting trees and flowers. C. Organizing parades and processions. D. Engaging in sports and competitions. Letter A. Fasting and lamenting. Esther 9, 29-31. As Mordecai the Jew and Queen Esther had decreed for them, and as they had established for themselves and their descendants, in regard to their times of fasting and lamentation. Question 25. What was the purpose of the second letter written by Queen Esther and Mordecai? A. To announce a new festival. B. To establish a day of fasting. C. To confirm the regulations about Purim. D. To decree a change in leadership. The right answer is to confirm the regulations about Purim. Esther 9, 29-31. The second letter written by Queen Esther and Mordecai was to confirm and establish the regulations concerning the celebration of Purim. Thank you for actively participating in this enlightening adventure. Keep sharing and never stop learning. And see you in the next video.